Hey everybody! We're back to looking at plants again. So remember, we're focusing on the reproductive system of plants. And remember that plants use flowers for reproduction. So all the flowers are part of the reproductive system for the plant. And flowers are really important to us as humans. Even if you don't love flowers, people love to draw them. People like to put them in their houses. We like to use them as patterns on dresses and clothing. And we like to plant them in our garden because they look really nice. And they're part of us feeling like we're part of the natural world and we're in nature, having flowers around us. And they also have a really significant meaning for celebrations as humans. We have flowers at birthdays, we have flowers at weddings, and we have flowers at funerals as well. All right. And then lastly, flowers are really important for food. Because if we didn't have flowers that were pollinated, we wouldn't be able to grow any of the vegetable crops that we like to eat as humans and that we need. So some of these flowers up here are actually from vegetables. These are tomato flowers. These ones here are zucchini flowers. You might have actually eaten those. Zucchini flowers are edible. And these are pea flowers. So even if you don't know much about them, flowers are really important for our society as humans. Okay. We've already learned what pollination is. Remember, it's the way that plants reproduce. So there's pollen in one flower, then the pollen gets transported through the air or through an insect or another animal, and then it gets transported to another flower. And that's the simple process of pollination. But to learn more about it, we need to know the details about parts of a flower. So what we're going to do here is quickly learn the anatomy, the really basic anatomy of flowers. So you know the main parts when we talk about them more. All right. Well, the one that we'd all know already is the colourful parts of the flower. These are the petals. And the job of the petals is to attract a pollinator. So to attract an animal or another insect to come along and to grab the pollen off the flower. And the place where the pollen is kept is these stalks here, and these are called stamens. So they've got a stalk, and then they've got a little container at the top, and that's where all the pollen grains are kept, at the top of the stamen there. So this flower's got 6 stamens, but each flower has lots of variation. So at the top of the stamens, that's where we have our pollen grains. Okay, then the other important part is called the carpel. And this is the female part of the flower, because this is what receives the pollen grains from other flowers. And we call the stamens as being the male part because they have the pollen grains, which are like the sperm cells, but for flowers. And importantly, inside the carpel, it contains an egg cell or multiple egg cells. And that's what grows into seeds so the plant can grow new plants and reproduce. Alright, so that is the basic structure, the basic anatomy of what you find in flowers to help them reproduce.